Dallas Mavericks could be a team that can make a lot of moves this free agency and potentially be going to the NBA Finals again. If they make these three moves, I think they should go and get these three players to make their team a better team and be able to beat Boston or whoever comes out in the East next year and win the West once again. What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the video, and today let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. But without further ado, please like, please subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. So the Dallas Mavericks, yes, they made it to the NBA Finals. And before I go on with the video, I want to just congratulate the Dallas Mavericks for making the NBA Finals. It was a really, really good run. They beat the Clippers, they beat the Timberwolves, and they also beat the OKC. They played really well this year. Luka Doncic finally proved that he can lead a team to a finals. Now that the Mavericks have finally made the finals, it's time for them to go and win the finals next year or the coming years. And I think they can't run it back with the same team and expect the same outcome or a different outcome, and that is to win the NBA Finals. We saw a lot of times in the Boston Celtics series where the Mavericks just could not outshoot the Celtics. The Celtics had really good role players. They had really, really good three-point shooting, and the Mavericks just did not have that. The Mavs did have good stars. They had Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Derek Lively stepped up very well. PJ Washington had his games here and there, but just did not step up in the NBA Finals. Three-point shooting, in my opinion, is a big issue for the Dallas Mavericks, and if they want to contend and win a championship and win this hard West, they need to find three-point shooting. So the Mavericks have a lot of issues, right? So to solve the three-point shooting issue, I think the Mavericks should try to sign Klay Thompson. Now, Klay Thompson might be a big ask, right? It's like he might want his bag. He might go to Orlando. But if the Mavericks can get Klay Thompson for a great price, like $20 million a year or something like that, something that they can afford, imagine the team with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and Klay Thompson who can spot up, and guys can say whatever you guys want about Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is a damn great shooter. He can shoot the three ball really well, 39% from three in his down year. That's fantastic. That is above average for any NBA player, let alone one of the top five greatest shooters of all time. In my opinion, top three. You go Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson. So Klay Thompson must be someone that the Mavericks should be looking in their radar when it comes to free agency. Now, let's just say Klay Thompson goes and signs with the Magic and signs with the Warriors. Next, I think Jeremy Grant. Now, Jeremy Grant's not a prolific three-point shooter, but he's a very, very good third star that can go and get a bucket whenever you can. I think Jeremy Grant's a really good defensive player for the Dallas Mavericks. His contract's, I think, $160 million for 4 years, so you got to pay $40 million for him. I think you got to do a trade for him, so I would maybe give away Tim Hardaway Jr., maybe Max Kleba. You probably have to give up away Omax, and then probably a first-round pick, and you're going to have to trade for Jeremy Grant. I think that could be a really good radar. I think that's on the Mavs trade radar, so I would definitely go for Jeremy Grant. Now, another guy I think the Mavericks should go for, I think Tobias Harris. Now, you guys can say what you want about Tobias Harris. He's still a solid scorer, and the Mavericks are just asking him to be a third option. I think Tobias Harris could be a fantastic third option for him. He's a great wing. He can play good defense. He can shoot the three ball well. He can drive. He can score. He can make and shot create on his own. You can put him with Kyrie Irving and pair him up with Luka Doncic when Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic are on the bench, and he can go out there and shoot really well. But now you got to get him in the right price. Do not overpay him like Philadelphia 76ers did, but he could be a really good option for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, one guy I really, really want the Mavericks to go after, if I was a Mavericks fan, was Andrew Wiggins. Now, Andrew Wiggins you would have to trade for, obviously. He's on the Warriors, 2 more years on his contract. He's getting like $26 million, $28 million. So that might be a hefty trade to do. Maybe you got to give away some second-round picks. I don't think you can get a first-round pick because I think for the Warriors to trade him to the Mavericks, I think the Mavs could easily fleece the Warriors in this situation because Andrew Wiggins did not play well last year, so he could be a really good wing, and that's exactly what the Mavericks need. They need a good wing shooter and who can go out there and get you a bucket. Andrew Wiggins can shot create. He can play fantastic defense. He's one of the best two-way players in the league. Mavericks, go get him. I promise you, he will shine and play well with y'all. I promise you. We saw what Andrew Wiggins could do 2 years ago against the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals, being the second best player on a championship team. Andrew Wiggins can be the guy. Go get Andrew Wiggins. I think that's a must for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, again, the Mavs, they can go a lot of ways, right? 3-point shooting is a big issue. 3 and D. They can go sign Derrick Jones Jr. again. But I just don't know if Derrick Jones Jr. is that shooter and like that. He's like the X factor for them, right? Obviously, they got PJ Washington. They got Derek Lively, the emergence of Derek Lively. The Mavs are still a really, really good team. Even if they run it back with this team, they're Western Conference Finals bound or second round bound or could go to the finals. The only thing is they need to improve their depth. They need to improve their depth, and Kyrie Irving needs to play better in the finals. That's just a must Kyrie Irving needs to do. I think it's just Boston. Maybe it's Boston. His numbers this finals were not the greatest. I still believe in Kyrie. Kyrie's a fantastic player, fantastic playmaker. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are probably one of the most talented backcourts I've ever seen. Not the greatest, obviously. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson are definitely the greatest. But when it comes to the most talented and most prolific backcourts, I think you can put Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic there. Now, it all comes down to, can they win the championship? And I genuinely think the Dallas Mavericks can win the championship next year. They just had to make some key improvements this offseason. I think center, they got Derek Lively. Maybe go get a backup center, or I think Daniel Gafford could be a good option for a backup center. I think Derek Lively needs to get a 3-point shot. I think he shot his first made his first 3-pointer in the NBA Finals. Congrats to him. Love Derek Lively. Love his game. Wish he was on the Golden State Warriors, but again, it was just the Warriors were never going to get him. But the Mavericks got a good one there. Drafted really well. And yeah. So these are the 3 people. I think 4 or 5 people I said the Dallas Mavericks should go after this offseason. And again, they do have a lot of options. They can go sign Derrick Jones Jr. again. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. has to be traded. I think he's going to be traded maybe to the Pistons or like some lottery team. You might get like maybe a second round pick or a bag of Skittles for him. So you never know. But again, Mavericks, they have a lot of options. They do. They really do. I really believe in the Dallas Mavericks. I didn't think they were going to get this far last year. I thought the Clippers might take them out. I thought the Thunder might take them out. I had the Mavericks losing in every series because I just did not believe Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic can get it done with this team. They proved me wrong. Whenever I'm wrong, I will be glad to admit it. I was not a believer of the Mavericks. I think they blew expectations this year. And again, this is a team that did not make the playoffs last year. They didn't play in last year either. So kudos to the Mavericks. Kudos to Nico Harrison making good moves. Congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks. That's going to wrap it up for the video. Please like, please subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Without further ado, peace.